So Paige, how did you first get into NFTs?
Before I answer that, I want to tell you that you have a new fangirl. I have been watching your beatboxing and you're so amazing. So I'm really psyched to sit here with you and have this conversation. Okay?
Oh, thank you. Appreciate.
Yeah. I first got into NFTs. It's kind of crazy, but I was on TikTok and I saw an ad for a crypto content creator from NAS Academy.
Oh.
And I didn't really know how to make a great video. And actually I ended up recording the video on TikTok because I didn't know how to make a video off TikTok. And so I made this content and told them why I should be a crypto content creator. It was a whole new realm I knew nothing about, and I've always said yes to life, right? And so I want to learn about this. And Metacoven, who brought the Beeple, Metacoven was behind this. It was Metacoven and NAS Academy, and so I applied. They chose 30 people from around the world. I was the only one from Singapore. I was older than everybody by 20 years. The guy in my group was 19 from India, and he knew everything about tech. He knew everything about kind of crypto and the whole space. And so he really educated me on that, and I kind of brought, I guess, a little bit of worldly vision to him, and it was great to learn that way. But through the crypto content creator with NAS Academy, I was paid 1 ETH a month. When ETH was at an all-time high, it was at 3,700, and I just had to make videos. And so we made videos about NFTs, we made videos about crypto. A couple of my crypto videos were banned on Facebook because it's when they were worried about scams and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, it was through that kind of scholarship, and it was about a 5-month process. And I just kind of dipped my toe in and started to learn a whole lot. And then I interviewed a lot of people. I interviewed an ETH farmer. I interviewed my friends who were artists who were turning to NFTs. And I just kind of got fascinated with it all and continue to try to educate as much as I can, educate myself.
Interesting. So basically, on that opportunity, you went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, and it is a rabbit hole. And I feel like right now, especially because the economy's not doing well. We've had FTX, we've had all these things in the crypto world that have been so negative. And so you have all the naysayers and the people who are like, oh, this is just dystopia, this is just crazy, it's never gonna work. We have all of them telling us that, and people are starting to feel it, and I feel like it's really affected the vibe. But then you have people like us who know that long term, Web3 is real. And NFTs are real, and this is all going to change our lives. And so we continue to go down the rabbit hole. And I know you know so much more about it than I do, but I find it fascinating to dip my toe in and to learn.
Cool.
I said before, fangirl, you're so good with your beatboxing. But how and why do you go from beatboxing to NFTs and this whole platform?
So basically, just to make things clear, NFTs in the beatbox community is still alien, skeptical about NFTs within the community. So whatever we've been doing, it's always having naysayers trying to put us down. But as a beatboxer, why I put myself as an advocate for NFTs is because I can foresee how it's going to be used in the long term and how it's going to benefit the community. And I'm not even talking about getting profits or earning money from it, just for the sake of the convenience of it for the users and for people when they adopt onto this Web3 narrative, make life easier for everybody. But just for now, it's just very difficult to get everybody to be on the same page. It's just take a lot of time, but it's always good to start right now, start early and slowly educate people that NFTs are not really just scams. Back then when it was Web 1, before Yahoo came out, a lot of scams and a lot of other problems that was happening before the Web 1 boom. So basically right now—
And a lot of companies went bust.
So many. It's like the repeat of history. So it's like a cycle, right?
Yeah.
And now this pattern is just begun. Everybody's just waiting for this to go to the next stage before mass adoption. So right now, just exploring, educating, and yeah, I welcome the naysayers. As long as we just keep doing what we do, I think we keep trying, eventually put our message across.
But how does a beatboxer benefit from being on Tezarekt?
The Tezarekt is a platform where not only beatboxers but users can actually to our platform to combine NFTs together, audio-visual aspect of it, to experience sound and then the full visual. So it's quite unique kind of experience for the user. So as a beatboxer, I would enjoy combining a beatboxer and another beatboxer to hear how they sound like together, you know what I'm saying? So basically, if there is like a beatbox band of 4 individual beatboxers, you collect them 4 and then you can synthesize them together and it becomes like a new NFT where all the 4 audios are also combined together and you get to hear the full composition of the routine. So I think it's very interesting and interactive for the users and for the beatboxers.
But even a non-beatboxer, because you could take the 4 different beatboxers, put them together and make your own mix.
Basically, our vision is to be modular. Think about Lego, where people can just create their own audio-visual set of NFTs. And sometimes it all depends on the project. If the project is about an artist, a music artist, just for example, he will like break down his songs into different possible variations of layers, and people can collect those layers in different variations and combine them to create the artist's song and on their own version. Maybe the artist will say like, oh, this version sounds really good, I want to feature it on my album. So they will take it and they will record it, produce it along with that combination, just put it in the music video, in the album, and then maybe it gets into the Billboard and it becomes a hit. People are like, oh, who created this song? Thanks to one of my followers or one of the fans that actually gave me this idea through this random modular creation of NFTs, which I gave. So it's like really interactive and it makes the fans and followers be more involved in the creative process. Not only just following just because they like the music, but because they help in the creative process. I think that's a very interesting narrative to explore when it comes to Web3, you know? Yeah.
So I saw this interview you did, and you were talking about how the beatboxers on Tezarekt don't have to try to build followers. Like right now on social media, it's all about building followers in order to get likes, right? And they were saying that they can actually work on the craft. And so how exactly does that happen?
One of our goals to help to empower beatboxers who don't have following is that we will create a certain project where we can select beatboxers who have potential, talented beatboxers, ask them to record a beat or sound based on the key, the tempo. Basically, once you have the key and the tempo as a parameter and the duration, the beatboxers will record according to that, be it the percussion, the voice, the vocal like the singing, or instruments, the bass, guitar, or whatever they want. And then we will put them into different traits and we will randomly combine them. So with this mechanism, it doesn't matter if the beatboxer is very famous or not. Everybody have their own trait, and the user will come onto this platform and they just click play onto this project. And when they click play, the system will automatically pull those different traits from different beatboxers together and it forms a track. So basically it's like a forced collaboration through randomness that gives all the beatboxers an equal platform to be noticed. So users will just come on and I don't know who's this beatboxer, I don't know, but it's cool. And on the other hand, the beatboxer can get a revenue from it as well. So they get monetized because of royalties, split of the revenue. So basically, it benefits for both sides.
But playing devil's advocate on that, if you're, the world champion beatboxer, then you don't want it to be random.
Yeah, there's other projects that are not random. So on the platform, we strive to make it so that there are many different types of modes. There are random ones, and there are ones that are modular where you can actually choose, and there are ones that are just one-off. We don't have to combine them together. It's just like a standard NFT. So we want to give users the freedom of the choice and just try out the platform. Right now our platform is still in the alpha stage because it's very tough to get attraction of something really new because our platform is catered only to the masses and the masses need time to adopt. So yeah, that's what we are doing. Testing it out, slowly educating and just not stopping. Yeah. Do you have any way or any solution where we can increase this process of mass adoption?
I think it's interesting because the whole Web3 space is still kind of a bro space, whether we like it or not. And I think ARK's trying very hard to bring more women in. And it's like everything in the world, you need role models. And I think ARK is doing that more and more, trying to get the females who are in the space to actually get the young women to come in, because it's scary to dip your toe into a space which is getting a lot of negative publicity, right?
Yeah.
NFT sales are down. Wallets, nobody's opening wallets anymore. I mean, and people are like, they're busy, they've got other priorities, right? So I think it's education, even more education. It's somebody like you seeing a young woman or a young guy, and they don't know anything about the space, and you telling them, I didn't either. I'm a beatboxer, but this is how I did it, and this is the best wallet. And it's like I do. I just try to spread the knowledge as much as possible. And you know, maybe 95% of the people we talk to are not going to drink the Kool-Aid, but if one or two do, then it all adds up. And I think we just have to continue, you know, striving to bring more people in.
Yeah. What I feel is that if there is a product that actually works and it benefits everybody, I think that would be like the start, the beginning of mass adoption. Because right now, what I see, it only benefits a few people. And that's why you can see that disconnect. But maybe once your product that is for everybody, and it's not about, and the price palatable to everybody.
That's so interesting, because I was at one point when I was buying NFTs, I mean, not expensive NFTs, but in order to actually get it minted, the gas fee was higher than the piece of art that I was buying. Once that all corrects, and I think also many people, you know, they were buying the NFTs, they were buying the art, and then they're like, what am I going to do with this?
Exactly.
You know? And so you have a gallery in Web3, so you can put your pieces up. I mean, it's like people want to be able to understand, okay, I have this NFT now, what am I going to do with it? And I think one of the buzzwords in Web3 is utility, right? Everybody wants to know about what is the utility? What's it going to do for me? What's the community? And that's one of the reasons I like ARK, is because it's like Web2 to Web3, building community in real life, physically, as well as, you know, minting the stellars and talking about a Web3 space. But imagine if they do open a club and we can go to a physical space to talk about Web3. That's how we bridge it.
Yeah.
And I think it's all very, very exciting.
Yeah. What I feel is that we just need to keep on building the community from the ground up. And once we create this sturdy foundation, then we can build anything on top of it. So yeah, I think it's all about perseverance right now. As a beatboxer, just want to focus on simple product first for my community, to make sure like people can actually, you know, come on and adopt and really see the benefits. Because basically, like, we are not in for the money. We actually want to just prove a statement, let people explore different projects on this platform. So yeah, I think it's all about the time and how do you call it, perseverance. Yeah.
And when you actually have a physical event where the people come together and they can actually have physical cards?
Yeah, so that's the thing. We will want to have like physical like cards or NFTs for people who are like at the event. So I think that would be really, really interesting. An event that I'm thinking about is where people actually create those songs, those tracks, right? They can actually compete in a live event. And when they go to this live event, they will have the privilege to print that NFT into cards where they actually like show hands. So it's like, you know Pokemon card games, or like the Magic the Gathering card games. So you can do that, and then you show the card, and then there will be a panel of judges, and behind there's a huge screen to display that card, and the music will play, but NFT holds. So, and the opponent will respond with another card, and then the judges will be like, okay, which one sounds better?
There be any benefit? The more cards you have, the more perks you get?
Oh yeah, you hit certain tier systems, and then it will benefit you in certain things like regarding to the project. So if it's like a World Beatbox Championship thing, maybe you're entitled to like lifetime benefits to the World Champs if you ever go, or you have like a free flight, free hotel, free stay,
Cool.
You know, something like that, or additional benefits. It's just it never ends. You know, it depends on what you want to give to your holders. But we're gonna start something more realistic. So we're gonna start from the ground up. You know how it is. It's always not over-promising things, but do it step by step. Yeah.
Sounds healthy.
Yeah, have to be. If not, it's gonna sound like a scam, right? Yeah, you gotta do it step by step. Yeah.
So as an artist, as a beatboxer, how are you going to use this product, your product, to benefit you?
Okay, so that's a good question. I'm not only a beatboxer, but I'm also an artist, right? So I want to create an EP, an album. And it's gonna be not only beatboxing, it's gonna be like vocals with co-producers and feature artists on it. I'm thinking of breaking that track down into different layers, different stems, audio-visual stems, and each stem have like different variations. Users can come onto the platform to go and combine all these stems together to form their own version of my song. So I will go onto the platform and I'll see like, okay, which one sounds the best. I'll take that version and I'll produce it properly and put it on a music video and add it into like a single. So I think it'll be very cool if that single hit the charts and it's like, wow, that's amazing. People will follow after that, you know. There'll be more projects, more artists who want to be on board doing the similar stuff like what I'm doing. So I think that's the kind of like vision that I'm trying to strive for, and I think it's quite practical and I think it's doable given the tech right now. So yeah, I'm writing songs right now, I'm recording, and I'm going to choose one of those songs to do that. Yeah.
That's very cool. And you need to dream. I have a dream where I've written a book and I am working on another. And in the back of my mind, I think it might be a little bit too early, is that sell each page as an NFT. And then, you know, as each one is sold, then the book comes to life.
Wow, that's great.
I think you probably need to be somebody like J.K. Rowling's and have a lot of name recognition.
You need that French.
But
you need a kind
I
of
think
power.
this kind of thing is going to happen.
Yes.
You know, and you talk about dreaming, and we're all going to dream big, and these things are really going to come to fore.
Yes. People love puzzles. People love to collect. You know, Da Vinci Code, you know, they want to solve something. So if you have like a hidden book, if J.K. Rowling has like a hidden book, it's like Gerard Tolkien. Mm-hmm. He has this hidden book, the final chapter or like the hidden chapter. Every page is everywhere. You just got to find all the pages, gather them together, then you get the whole story of the final chapter. And people will just go for it because there is like a huge following, a huge community, and I think that will work, you know.
Well, last year we had Champ Medici, Snoop Dogg's son, here, and they were talking a whole lot about NFTs and music and how it will really benefit the artist so much. They'll make so much more money than working for a record label. So when you talk about dreaming, all of these things seem like dreams, but they are going to happen.
Yep.
And that's why we're psyched for Web3.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, back then when Web 1 started, it all started from dreams as well. So everything was started from a vision. It's like you want to create a search engine, you know, and everybody just came on board and it happened. Yeah, it's for everybody. So this is what we should do. Something for everybody in terms of better ownership, more secure.
Proven ownership.
Proven ownership.
Proven ownership,
exactly.
with rights.
With rights, exactly.
With revenue.
With revenue, with getting what you deserve. This thing will come to play in the next few years.